Good morning. I want to start by reminding you that you are not lacking, you are not incomplete, and you are not forgotten. Society may tell you that a woman without a husband is missing something, but let me tell you, you are not missing a thing. You are strong, you are capable, and you are more than enough. Some people define themselves by their relationships. They think if they're not married, they're less valuable. But God doesn't measure your worth by a ring on your finger. He created you whole, with purpose, with talents, with dreams that are too big to be limited by a title. Maybe you've been made to feel like you need someone else to complete you, but the truth is you are already complete. Whether you are single by choice, by circumstance, or by life's unexpected turns, you are not a half waiting for another half to make you whole. You are a masterpiece all by yourself. Think about the great women who changed the world, who built businesses, who raised children, who followed their dreams. They didn't wait for someone to give them permission to live. They knew their worth, they pursued their purpose, and they thrived in the life they were given. So don't believe the lie that says you have to wait for someone to show up before your life can truly begin. Your life is happening right now. Your purpose is calling right now. Your joy, your peace, your fulfillment, they are already yours. You don't have to wait for love to find you. Love is already around you, in your family, in your friends, in the passions that set your soul on fire. And most importantly, you are deeply loved by God. He walks with you in every season, and He has plans for you that go beyond anything you can imagine. So lift your head high, walk boldly into your future, because being a woman without a husband does not mean you are alone, unloved, or unfinished. It means you are a woman with strength, with courage, with purpose, and the best part, your story is still being written, and the best is yet to come. There are moments in life when society tries to put a label on you, defining your value by external circumstance. Some believe that a woman's worth is tied to whether she is married or not. They assume that if she is single, she is incomplete, that something is missing, that there is a gap in her life waiting to be filled. But let me tell you, nothing could be further from the truth. Your value is not determined by a ring on your finger, a last name change, or a wedding ceremony. Your value is in who you are, in the life you live, in the purpose that is uniquely yours. From the moment you were created, you were given an identity, a purpose, and a destiny. No person, no relationship, no title can add or take away from what has already been placed inside of you. Too often, people look at a woman who is not married and assume she is still waiting, still searching, still longing for something to make her whole. But that is a false narrative. A woman does not become valuable because of her marital status. She is valuable because of the qualities she carries, the impact she makes, the love she shares, and the strength she displays. Think about the many women in history who accomplished extraordinary things, not because they were married, but because they believed in themselves and in the purpose that was given to them. Some of them had husbands and some of them didn't, but that was never the defining factor in their greatness. Their determination, their perseverance, their ability to embrace life fully, those were the things that made them remarkable. There are people who will try to convince you that happiness comes when you find someone to share your life with. And while companionship is beautiful, it is not the source of your joy. True fulfillment does not come from a relationship. It comes from knowing who you are, from embracing your journey, and from living each day with purpose and passion. If you have that, no status or title can shake your confidence. You are not a puzzle missing a piece. You are not a song waiting for the right melody. You are already complete, already whole, already enough. You don't need anyone else to define your worth because it has already been established. Whether you are single, divorced, widowed, or simply living life on your own terms, your value remains unshaken. The world may put pressure on women to follow a certain path, to settle down, to marry, to fit into a mold that others have created. But the truth is, your life is yours to live. You have the right to choose what brings you fulfillment, to follow the dreams that ignite your heart, to build a life that is rich and meaningful in its own way. If you are single, do not let the world make you feel like you are in a waiting room, as if life is on pause until someone comes along. You are not waiting, you are living. You are growing, achieving, and creating a life that is full of meaning and joy. And if there are moments when you feel the weight of expectations, when you hear voices telling you that you need to meet certain standards to be considered whole, I want you to silence those thoughts. Replace them with truth. Remind yourself that you are strong, that you are enough, that you are worthy just as you are. You are not placed on this earth just to be someone's wife. You are placed here with a purpose far greater than a title. You are light in this world, a force to be reckoned with, a woman of substance and strength. So don't let anyone make you feel like you are less because you are not married. Don't let anyone tell you that your worth is determined by whether or not you wear a wedding band. Because the truth is, your value is unshakable, unchangeable. You are worthy, you are whole, you are enough. Life is often measured by the milestones society sets for us. From a young age, expectations are placed on what should happen and when. People assume there is a roadmap that leads to fulfillment, and when someone does not follow it exactly, they begin to question if something is missing. For many women, this pressure comes in the form of being told that a certain chapter of their life is incomplete without a particular role or status. But the truth is, every person is born with a unique journey. No single path defines success, happiness, or fulfillment. There is a deeper reason for every experience, every moment, every phase of life. When someone finds themselves in a place different from what others expected, it does not mean they are off track. It does not mean they are missing something. It means their journey is unfolding exactly as it is meant to. Every person carries a set of gifts, dreams, and passions that were placed within them for a reason. The purpose of life is not to fit into a mold, but to walk fully in those gifts, embracing what is being uniquely given. It is easy to look around and compare one's story to someone else's. It is easy to believe that if life does not look like the lives of those around us, something must be wrong. But comparison is one of the greatest thieves of joy. No two lives are meant to be identical. What brings meaning and fulfillment to one person may not be the same for another. The important thing is recognizing that every individual has a calling, a purpose, a path that is meant just for them. When someone embraces this, they begin to see life differently. They no longer feel the need to rush toward a destination that society has set for them. Instead, they begin to appreciate the season they are in. They begin to focus on what is in front of them, on the opportunities, the relationships, and the experiences that are already present. Instead of looking at what they don't have, they recognize all that they do. They see that life is not about reaching a specific milestone, but about becoming the person they were created to be. There are many examples of people who lived extraordinary lives because they chose to embrace their own path instead of chasing what others expected of them. They chose to focus on what was already within them rather than feeling like something was missing. They poured their time and energy into their passions, their growth, their purpose. And in doing so, they found a sense of fulfillment that could not be taken away by external circumstances. When a person begins to see their own journey as valuable, they no longer feel the pressure to conform. They no longer feel the weight of expectations that do not align with who they are. Instead, they stand confidently in their own identity. They trust that every experience, every lesson, every moment is leading them towards something meaningful. They recognize that they are not defined by what they have or do not have, but by the way they live, by the way they love, by the way they make an impact in the world around them. This kind of confidence brings freedom. It removes the feeling of waiting for something to happen before life can begin. It removes the doubt that comes when people question whether they are where they are supposed to be. It allows a person to fully embrace the present, to find joy in the now, to wake up each day knowing that they are exactly where they need to be. There is something powerful about a person who understands their worth beyond external circumstances. They walk differently. They speak with assurance. They no longer feel the need to explain or justify where they are in life because they know they are on the right path. This kind of confidence does not come from validation from others. It comes from within. It comes from knowing deep down that every step they take is part of a greater plan. And when challenges come, when moments of doubt arise, they do not waver. They do not question whether they are enough. They do not believe the lie that they are missing something. Instead, they remind themselves of who they are. They remind themselves that they are walking a path that is unique, purposeful, and meaningful. They refuse to allow circumstances to shake their confidence because they know they are exactly where they are meant to be. There is great peace in living this way. It removes the unnecessary weight that so many carry. It allows a person to find contentment and joy in every stage of life, knowing that they are not behind, not lacking, not incomplete. It allows them to focus on what truly matters, on growing, on making a difference, on living fully in the present. This is what it means to walk in true fulfillment. It is not about reaching a specific goal or fitting into a certain role. It is about knowing deep within that life is already filled with meaning, with opportunities, with purpose. It is about embracing every moment with confidence, knowing that the journey is unfolding exactly as it should. There is a unique beauty in discovering one's own ability to stand strong, to build a life that is rich with meaning, and to embrace each moment with confidence. Many people are taught to believe that their strength is tied to external circumstances, that they need certain relationships or titles to fully step into their potential. But the truth is, every person carries within them a depth of resilience and capability that is not dependent on anyone else. The world often tries to define strength in a limited way. It assumes that to be strong means to have certain support systems in place, to walk a path that follows a particular structure. But real strength is not measured by whether or not someone follows a predefined pattern. It is measured by the ability to face life's challenges with grace, to rise up in moments of difficulty, and to move forward with faith and determination no matter the circumstances. There are countless examples of individuals who have built lives that are filled with success, joy, and fulfillment, not because they had all the support they thought they needed, but because they discovered that they were capable of creating that life on their own. When a person realizes that they do not need to rely on external validation or specific relationships to be strong, they unlock a new level of freedom. They begin to see that their power comes from within, that they already possess everything they need to thrive. One of the most important realizations a person can come to is that they are enough on their own. This does not mean that relationships and companionship are not valuable. They are. But it means that they do not determine a person's strength. A person's ability to navigate life, to pursue dreams, to build something meaningful is not limited by who walks beside them. It is shaped by the mindset they choose to carry, by the way they see themselves, by their willingness to embrace the journey as it unfolds. Too often people underestimate their own ability to handle life's challenges. They assume that they need someone else to guide them, to support them, to provide a sense of stability. But time and time again, people prove to themselves that they are far stronger than they ever imagined. They face difficulties and overcome them. They step into new opportunities and succeed. They make decisions that shape their future, and they realize that they were capable all along. True confidence comes when a person understands that their strength is not borrowed from someone else. It is their own. It is something they carry in the way they speak, in the way they move through the world, in the way they embrace the present without fear of the future. This kind of confidence does not waver when life takes unexpected turns. It does not disappear when challenges arise. It remains steady, rooted in the deep understanding that no external factor determines a person's ability to live a full and meaningful life. When someone begins to walk in this truth, they stop waiting for circumstances to align perfectly before stepping into their purpose. They stop looking for something outside of themselves to give them permission to move forward. Instead, they take ownership of their journey. They make decisions based on what is right for them rather than what others expect. They embrace opportunities with boldness, knowing that they are more than capable of navigating whatever comes their way. This kind of mindset creates a ripple effect. It changes the way a person interacts with the world around them. They no longer settle for less than they deserve because they recognize their worth. They no longer allow fear to hold them back because they know that they are fully capable of facing whatever comes next. They walk with a quiet confidence that speaks louder than words. A confidence that says, I know who I am. I know what I am capable of. I am not defined by circumstances. I define my own life. This is not about rejecting the idea of relationships or community. It is about understanding that strength is not something that comes from outside sources. It is something that already exists within. It is about knowing that a person does not need to wait for someone else to provide direction, validation, or approval. They can step boldly into their future, knowing that they have everything they need to build the life they envision. There is nothing more powerful than a person who recognizes their own strength, a person who is not afraid to stand on their own, to pursue what sets their soul on fire, to move through life with purpose and assurance. When someone reaches this place, they no longer live with hesitation. They no longer doubt their ability to handle life's twists and turns. They embrace each day with a mindset of abundance, knowing that they are strong, capable, and fully equipped to create a future that is filled with meaning and joy. This understanding changes everything. It shifts the way a person sees themselves and their journey. It removes any lingering doubt about whether they are enough, whether they have what it takes, whether they are truly capable. It replaces uncertainty with assurance, fear with courage, hesitation with boldness. Life will always bring challenges. There will always be moments that test a person's resolve, that push them to grow, that require them to step outside their comfort zone. But when someone knows that they are strong in their own right, they do not shrink back from these moments. They rise to meet them. They step forward with confidence, knowing that they have faced difficulties before and come out stronger. They trust that no matter what comes next, they are more than capable of handling it. This is the kind of strength that cannot be taken away. It is not dependent on who is in someone's life or what their relationship status. It is something that is deeply rooted within, something that is unshakable. And once a person fully embraces it, they begin to live in a way that is fearless, bold, and deeply fulfilling. There is a misconception in the world that love is confined to one specific form, that it only counts when it looks a certain way. From childhood, people are told stories that revolve around a particular narrative, one that says love is found in a singular relationship, in a lifelong partnership, in the joining of two lives in a way that is widely recognized and celebrated. But the truth is, love is far too vast, too deep, too powerful to be limited to a single expression. When a person believes that love can only be found in one place, they risk overlooking the countless ways it already exists around them. They may spend time searching for something they think is missing, unaware that love has been present all along. Love is not a single thread in the fabric of life. It is woven into every experience, every connection, every act of kindness and care. It is in the moments shared with family, in the support of a friend, in the quiet peace that comes from embracing oneself fully. Too often people wait for love to arrive in a specific package before allowing themselves to feel complete. They think that only when it comes in the form they expect will they be truly fulfilled. But love does not have to fit a particular mold to be real. It does not have to be defined by a legal document, a shared last name, or a romantic gesture. It is in the laughter between siblings, the sacrifices made by parents, the encouragement of a mentor. It is in the warmth of a shared meal, the simple joys of companionship, the silent understanding between two souls who care for each other deeply. Love is present in the friendships that stand the test of time, These are the relationships that provide unwavering support, that celebrate victories and offer comfort in difficult times. A person does not have to be in a specific kind of relationship to experience deep connection and belonging. The friendships that bring laughter, encouragement, and companionship are just as meaningful, just as powerful, just as real. They are a reminder that love is not something that must be waited for. It is already here, surrounding those who choose to see it. Beyond friendships, love is also found in the bonds of family. Whether it is the wisdom of an elder, the affection of a child, or the strength of a sibling relationship, these connections hold a unique and irreplaceable depth. There are moments in life when these relationships provide a greater sense of belonging than anything else. They serve as a reminder that love is not about titles or roles. It is about presence, about being there for one another, about walking through life together in whatever form that takes. Even outside of human relationships, love is present in the passions that bring joy and fulfillment. It is in the work that excites the soul, the hobbies that bring peace, the causes that stir something deep within. When a person pours themselves into something meaningful, when they invest their time and energy into what they love, they experience a kind of fulfillment that cannot be defined by societal expectations. They realize that love is not only something to receive, it is something to give, something to create, something to live in every moment. Perhaps one of the most profound expressions of love is found in self-acceptance. There's a deep and transformative power in truly embracing oneself, in recognizing one's own worth, in understanding that being loved does not require another person's validation. Too many people wait for someone else to affirm their value, not realizing that the greatest love they will ever experience is the love they cultivate within. They treat themselves with kindness, speak to themselves with encouragement, and make choices that honor their own well-being. This kind of love, one that is present in friendships, in family, in purpose, and in self-acceptance, is not a substitute for anything else. It is not something to settle for. It is not secondary or less than. It is love in its purest form, and it is more than enough. When a person fully embraces this, they stop feeling as though something is missing. They stop waiting for a specific kind of love before allowing themselves to feel whole. Instead, they walk through life knowing that love is already abundant in their world. When a person shifts their perspective in this way, they begin to notice love in the small things. They appreciate the heartfelt conversation with a friend, the thoughtful message from a loved one, the quiet moments of joy in everyday life. They no longer measure love by a specific standard, but by the warmth it brings, the peace it provides, the way it strengthens and uplifts. Too many people go through life feeling like they are incomplete, as if love is something they must earn or find before they can truly be happy. But the truth is, love is not something to chase. It is something to recognize. It is already present, already working, already surrounding those who open their hearts to see it. When a person understands this, they stop feeling the need to explain their journey to others. They no longer feel pressured to fit into a narrative that was never meant for them. They live with confidence, knowing that their life is rich with meaning, filled with love in its many forms, and unfolding exactly as it is meant to. In the end, love is not about what is missing, it is about what is already here. And for those who choose to see it, life becomes an endless experience of connection, joy, and fulfillment, not because of what they lack, but because of all that they already have. Life has a way of presenting people with expectations. Expectations about what success looks like, about what a fulfilled life should include, about the steps a person should take to reach happiness. Too often, these expectations are shaped by tradition, by the experiences of those who came before, or by the opinions of society. And for many, there is an unspoken assumption that fulfillment is tied to certain milestones, that it is something that comes only when life follows a prescribed path. But true fulfillment is not found in meeting expectations. It is found in embracing life as it is, in fully stepping into one's own unique journey, in appreciating the present rather than waiting for something in the future to bring happiness. When someone releases the idea that fulfillment is tied to a specific life event, they begin to see that joy, purpose, and meaning are already within reach. Too often, people delay their own happiness because they believe it is something that will come later. They think, once I have this, then I will be fulfilled. Once I reach this milestone, then I will feel complete. But life is not meant to be lived in waiting. It is meant to be experienced fully in every moment, in every season, in every chapter. A person does not need to wait for a particular event or role to feel a sense of purpose. They already have everything they need to live a deeply meaningful life. When a person understands this, they stop measuring their fulfillment by external markers. They stop comparing their journey to someone else's. They recognize that their life is valuable just as it is, that their path is unfolding exactly as it should, that their purpose is not something they have to find. It is something they already carry within them. True fulfillment comes from embracing what is rather than longing for what could be. It comes from looking at life with gratitude, from seeing the beauty in the small moments, from recognizing that joy is not reserved for a future version of life. It is available right now. It is in the early morning quiet, in the laughter shared with a friend, in the satisfaction of pursuing something meaningful. It is in the way a person invests in their passions, in the way they contribute to the world around them, in the way they choose to live with an open heart. There are many people who have followed the traditional path, checking off all the expected milestones, only to reach the end of it and realize they are still searching for fulfillment. This is because true satisfaction does not come from meeting expectations. It comes from living in alignment with one's true self. It comes from doing what brings joy, from surrounding oneself with uplifting relationships, from choosing to be present in every moment. A fulfilled life is not measured by whether or not a person fits into a certain category. It is measured by the depth of experience, by the richness of relationships, by the way a person invests in what truly matters to them. It is measured by the ability to wake up each day with a sense of purpose, knowing that life is not something to wait for. It is something to embrace right now. There is power in choosing to find fulfillment in the present. It means that a person is no longer waiting for circumstances to change before allowing themselves to be happy. It means they no longer feel like they are missing out on something. They recognize that their life is already full. They see that they have the freedom to create a life that is rich in experiences, in love, in purpose. For those who embrace this mindset, life becomes an adventure rather than a checklist. They are not concerned with whether or not they have reached a certain milestone. They are concerned with how they are living today. They do not waste time wishing their life looked different. They invest their time in making the most of what is already in front of them. This shift in perspective changes everything. It removes pressure, it brings peace, it allows a person to fully enjoy each moment. Instead of feeling like life is incomplete, they see that it is already filled with opportunities for joy, growth, and purpose. Instead of feeling like they are behind, they realize they are exactly where they need to be. The truth is, a fulfilled life is not about reaching a specific goal. It is about how a person chooses to live along the way. It is about appreciating what is rather than longing for what isn't. It is about finding joy in the everyday moments, about investing in meaningful relationships, about pouring energy into what brings purpose and passion. When someone embraces this, they no longer see themselves as waiting for something to make their life complete. They see themselves as already whole, already capable, already living a meaningful story. They stop feeling the need to explain their journey to others because they know that fulfillment is not about meeting external expectations. It is about finding peace and purpose in one's own path. And the beautiful thing about this perspective is that it creates a ripple effect. When someone chooses to live with fulfillment now, they inspire others to do the same. They show that happiness is not something to wait for. It is something to cultivate in each moment. They become an example of what it looks like to embrace life fully, without hesitation, without comparison, without the need for outside validation. True fulfillment is not found in a title, a relationship, or a specific achievement. It is found in the way a person chooses to see their life. It is found in gratitude, in presence, in embracing every experience with an open heart. When someone realizes this, they stop searching for what they think is missing and start celebrating all that is already here. And in doing so, they step into a life that is rich, meaningful, and deeply fulfilling. Not because of what they have, but because of how they choose to live. There is a profound freedom that comes when a person realizes that their future is not determined by their past, by the expectations of others, or by the circumstances they find themselves in today. Too often people live as though their destiny is already written, as if their possibilities are limited by what has come before. But life is not about staying within the boundaries of what has been. It is about stepping forward into what can be. It is about recognizing that no matter where a person is right now, they have the power to shape their own future, to create a life that is filled with meaning, and to walk boldly into the path ahead. It is easy to believe that certain factors define a person's future, that their background, their relationships, or their current situation determine what is possible for them. But the truth is, nothing has more power over a person's future than the mindset they choose to carry. Those who believe in possibility, who see challenges as stepping stones, who refuse to be defined by limitations, those are the people who rise above circumstances and create a life that is full and abundant. The past may have shaped a person's experiences, but it does not dictate their potential. Just because life has looked a certain way up until now does not mean it must always look that way. Every day is a new opportunity to redefine what is possible, to set new goals, to make new choices, to embrace new opportunities. When someone understands this, they stop feeling trapped by where they have been and start focusing on where they are going. One of the greatest obstacles to stepping into the future with confidence is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of stepping outside of what is familiar. But fear is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that growth is on the horizon. Every person who has ever achieved something great has faced fear at some point. The difference between those who stay where they are and those who move forward is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward in spite of it. It is important to recognize that no one else has the power to determine what is possible. The opinions of others, the traditions of the past, the expectations placed upon a person, none of these things define what the future holds. When someone realizes this, they take ownership of their own story. They stop waiting for permission to pursue their dreams. They stop letting external factors dictate their choices. Instead, they step forward with confidence, knowing that they are fully capable of creating a future that aligns with their purpose and their desires. A person's future is built by the choices they make today. Each small step, each act of courage, each decision to move forward adds up to something greater. Those who embrace this truth stop feeling powerless. They understand that they are not at the mercy of circumstances. They have the ability to shape their own destiny. They choose to focus on what they control, to invest in their growth, to take action toward the life they envision. Too often people look at their lives and see what is missing. They see the obstacles, the difficulties, the things they wish were different. But those who create a bright future do not dwell on what they lack. They focus on what they have. They recognize their strengths, their talents, their opportunities. They use what is available to them to build something greater. They refuse to let limitations hold them back because they know that even the smallest step forward is a step in the right direction. It is also important to surround oneself with the right influences. The people a person spends time with, the voices they listen to, the messages they allow into their mind, all shape their perspective on what is possible. Those who want to create a powerful future must be intentional about what they allow to influence them. They must choose to surround themselves with those who uplift, encourage, and inspire. They must seek out wisdom, knowledge, and growth. They must protect their mindset, knowing that the beliefs they carry will shape the future they create. Stepping into the future also requires resilience. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when things do not go as planned, but those who achieve great things do not allow challenges to stop them. They see them as part of the journey. They understand that every setback carries a lesson, that every difficulty is an opportunity to grow stronger. They refuse to give up, knowing that persistence is one of the greatest keys to success. It is also essential to dream boldly. Too often people limit themselves because they do not believe they are capable of achieving great things. But the truth is, those who accomplish extraordinary things are not necessarily the most talented or the most privileged. They are the ones who dare to believe that more is possible. They refuse to shrink their vision to fit their current circumstances. They allow themselves to dream big, to set ambitious goals, to believe that their future can be greater than their past. Ultimately, the future belongs to those who are willing to step into it with faith, confidence, and determination. It is not reserved for those who have everything figured out. It is for those who are willing to take the next step, even when they do not have all the answers. It is for those who choose to believe in themselves, who refuse to be held back by doubt, who recognize that every great journey begins with a single step. When a person embraces this mindset, they stop living with hesitation. They stop allowing circumstances to define them. They step forward boldly, knowing that their future is not something that happens to them. It is something they create. They recognize that they are strong, capable, and fully equipped to build a life that is rich with purpose and joy. The most powerful realization a person can have is that they are not defined by where they are today. They are defined by the vision they hold for their future, by the choices they make, by the determination they carry within them. When someone fully understands this, they begin to live with a sense of freedom. They stop waiting for the right moment and start making the moment right. They stop doubting their ability and start taking action. They walk with confidence, knowing that they have the power to create a future that is bright, meaningful, and filled with endless possibilities. Life is not defined by a single relationship, a specific milestone, or the expectations placed by others. It is defined by the choices made each day, the love that is embraced in all its forms, and the courage to walk forward in purpose and fulfillment. Too often people wait for something external to complete them, not realizing that they are already whole, already equipped, already capable of living a life filled with joy, love, and meaning. There is no need to conform to a single definition of success or happiness. The world may say that fulfillment comes from following a certain path, but true fulfillment comes from embracing the life that has been uniquely given. Love is not missing. It is already present in the bonds of friendship, in the strength of family, in the purpose found in daily pursuits, and most importantly, in the acceptance of oneself. Happiness is not something to wait for. It is something to embrace right now. A fulfilled life is not found in comparison, in longing for what could be, or in measuring one's worth by someone else's standards. It is found in gratitude, in presence, in stepping into each moment with confidence, knowing that life is full of opportunity, growth, and meaning. The future is not determined by what has come before. It is shaped by the choices made today. Fear, doubt, and external expectation do not have the power to limit what is possible. Those who recognize this walk boldly into their destiny, knowing that they are not defined by what they lack, but by the strength, love, and purpose they carry within them. So let go of waiting. Let go of hesitation. Step forward with confidence, knowing that life is already abundant. Embrace love in all its forms. Find joy in the present. Trust that the best is not behind you, it is ahead of you. And as you walk forward, know this: you are strong, you are enough, and your life is filled with limitless possibility.